And they were praying and talking. I wasn't texting and driving. But as I'm driving down the road and praying for my kids and praying over the building project and all that, I catch something out of the corner of my eye, and it was an eagle killing a snake in a field. And I was like, that's not an accident that happened while I was driving by. Not an accident at all. So be encouraged. God does nothing by accident. So I'm going to read a few scriptures, and then I'm going to read an article that I came across, not by accident. So Matthew 28:18, all authority has been given to Jesus. Colossians 2:15, having disarmed the powers and authorities, he made a public spectacle of them, triumphing over them by the cross. And then Ephesians 1:18 through 23, talking about that the eyes of our hearts be enlightened, that we may know what he has called us to, his incomparably great power for us who believe. That power is like the working of his mighty strength in us. Ephesians 4:1 through 3 says, live worthy of the calling. Ephesians 4:17 says, don't have a hard heart. So, with all that in mind, this is not a person that I follow, but for whatever reason, this came across my path. I don't know what to do about that. So the title of this is How to Stop Half of Your Warfare in Less Than 1 Minute. I just heard someone say, every tragedy is an instruction ignored. And I wrote that down. So this is Dr. Lance Wallnow. I've friended his Facebook page since I ran across this because he has some wisdom. So take heed to this instruction. You are simply too valuable to our cause to let yourself get taken out by a lie like this in the most important chapter of your life. So those intense, blasphemous, angry, bitter, or alternately impure, self-sabotaging thoughts that you wrestle with in secret are in reality fiery darts trying to stop you. A fiery dart in Paul's day was an arrow shot by an archer that acted like a missile. Designed with a burning asphalt tip, the arrow splattered when it hit the opponent's chest. That's a fiery dart. In your case, it's a thought dart that explodes with raging feelings attached, a missile from hell. When it hits, you don't stop to discern the source, you think it's you. Okay, I want to stop and read one more thing, if Mark's phone will cooperate with me. And it's not gonna. Okay. So, ever experience a surprise attack? Someone says or does something that hits you in such a way that before you know it, you are set on fire emotionally. Anger, fear, and confusion hit you all at the same time. That's a fiery dart. So then it goes, and this is from the same guy maybe 2 weeks ago. They can come from within your own mind. It's the things that you've heard in the past, things you believe for whatever reason. It can be something someone has said to you or says to you in the moment, or it could be something you're walking past and hear. So I'm just going to go on with the article. Most ministers and leaders never tell you the hell they went through to access the heaven that they preach. And it's too bad because most of us think there's something wrong with us. We look at Frank or we look at whoever it is that we have on a pedestal, and we don't understand what's behind the rest of the picture. That the warfare he preaches about, he also lives it. Okay? So our battle is not evidence that we are flawed. The battle is evidence that you're dangerous to the kingdom of evil. So does Satan ever take a break? No. Does he ever not want to destroy me? No. Never. But does the blood that Jesus shed on the cross for me ever not have the effect that he died for it to give me? Never, never. So the attack isn't about our worth and our value in a negative way. It's about it in a positive way. It's about the fact that we are a huge threat to the kingdom of evil. If we weren't a threat, there would be no attack. Or if there was, we wouldn't even recognize it. And I guess that's the danger now, that we don't recognize it. If we can recognize it, we can disarm it and carry on with what we're meant to be doing. The greatest consequence of yielding to sin is that it alters the image you have of yourself. You can no longer retain a self-image as an overcomer in an area where you are overcome. Sin's greatest casualty is that it alters the image you have of being victorious. The word devil or diabolus means one who thrusts through like a rock. He is trying to break into your head. A consummate slanderer, a false accuser who accuses you to yourself and us to each other. The word in John 8:44 calls him the father of lies. John 10:10, a thief who comes to steal, kill, and destroy. 1 John 5:19 says Satan has power over the world. Revelation 12:9 says he's a seducer, a deceiver of the whole world, and was cast out of heaven to the earth. So the things he can say to us, or may say: you hypocrite, you fake, why fight, why struggle, what's wrong with you, you don't have the right stuff, quit now. Sound familiar? You know, when you're in a position that you're trying to overcome and you think God has given you something to say and do, and in that moment you're like, not me, not me, because I'm listening to the voice in my head. So the strategy, when Satan wants to destroy you, he has to somehow get access to the picture you have of yourself and then distort it. The temptation crawls into your feelings and your inner thought life and makes you think you're defiled, when in fact you are simply in close quarters wrestling with a spirit who's pushing all the right buttons somehow to get to your senses, thus igniting that fiery dart. You know, I think of anger as the thing that I struggle with. I was raised in a household that was managed by anger. It's the only thing I knew. That's how you function in life. And if you're louder than everybody else, it'll probably work. So in those moments now, and I hope to God, I pray to God that, I've made people on the outside can see some of the progress that I think I've made on the inside. But when things hit me that are that fiery dart, it is instant. It is right now. I am confused. I am emotional. And I want to fight back from my gut, which is anger. Okay? But now, getting all this information, I'm like, those scriptures that say, be slow to speak, slow to respond. I can't remember the rest of them right now. But it doesn't take many scriptures to change your life. If you can memorize 2 or 3 things that are pertinent to your struggle, it can change your life. So he goes on to say, I'm beginning to think every temptation comes with a feeling, a strong feeling, a fiery dart. Every sin engages your senses. Satan's goal is to defile your self-image, your opinion of you about yourself. And this is a war. You have a devil assigned to you. Your demon is like a postman delivering a package at the door. He hands you the clipboard and says, sign here. You can refuse to sign it and say, return to sender. If you're wrestling with a thought, a feeling, an impulse, and it keeps repeating, it's a postman trying to get you to accept the package. Clearly, the real core you does not want the thing, or else you would not be in a battle with it. Once you see that it is not you, but a demon you wrestle with, you're free from half of the warfare. Less than 1 minute. It takes less than a minute to be aware and quench the dart with the shield of faith. Once you get this revelation, the shield of faith quenches all Satan's fiery darts, according to Paul's teaching in Ephesians 6. Faith in what? Faith in who God says you are and what the blood does for you. What you believe about your identity determines your ability to resist the devil. Maybe there's an area in your flesh that's prone to certain sins. Maybe there is an iniquity in your bloodline that makes you vulnerable. Anger. Know this, you have a new bloodline. God can and will alter the spiritual DNA of your blood by the same spirit in you that will raise you from the dead. It's a very potent spirit power inside you, inside our decaying flesh. You have an angel assigned to you, maybe more than one. Psalm 91:11, he commands his angels concerning you. So what he goes on to say is, use your authority, see that demon, and also see that there is an angel assigned to back you up. What you can walk away from, you have mastered. Stop letting the devil sell you a pack of lies about who you are and your particular problem, and why you're not qualified to do God's best. What you can't walk away from has mastered you. Don't let the devil deliver a package to your door. Return it to the sender. If you've failed in the past, stop obsessing about it. The blood has no meaning or value for people with a perfect record. It is the thing that makes devils go crazy, because the blood erases the past and gives you a fresh page to write on. Write the identity you want. Dip your tongue in the fountain of Christ's blood and let your words become the pen of a ready writer. Refuse this identity attack and know that doing so reverses the curse and causes torment and embarrassment to the demon that failed its assignment to stop you. So, heard of Pinterest? Lots of fancy little sayings on there. This didn't print very well, but it says, make sure you are not the weapon formed against yourself, causing you not to prosper. You know, make sure what you allow into your head isn't what's keeping you down. And then this, step beyond the emotional impact of your past, beyond what you see in the mirror. See into God's view, God's plan, and God's ability. Speak on, pray on, and meditate on God's view, God's plan, and God's ability. There is not a body on the face of the earth that God did not create with intent and purpose and a job to do for his kingdom. And if we could just get a hold of that inside our own heads, and if we could stop what comes out of our mouth about our brothers and sisters, even if they're not our brothers and sisters, about anyone else, how far ahead of the game we'd be. So again, John 10:10, the thief comes only to steal, kill, and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly. And Colossians 1:13 and 14, for he rescued us from the kingdom of darkness, transferred us to the kingdom of his beloved Son, in whom we have redemption and the forgiveness of sins. And this is Psalm 91. Everybody knows Psalm 91, right? He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, he is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in him will I trust. Surely he shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday. 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place, no evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot on a stone. You shall tread on the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Because he has set his love on me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life will I satisfy him and show him my salvation. So be very sure you're not your own weapon, you know, that we're not losing the battle before we've really even engaged by what we entertain in our head. And now, worship team.
Thank you, Lord.
Welcome. Sure.
Oh, we are? Oh, I did not know that.
Gotta tell Mike then. Tell Mike we're starting with
Hey, Mike, would you jump ahead to What a Beautiful Name? We're starting there.
You were the Word at the beginning, one with God the Lord Most High. Your hidden glory in creation, now revealed in you are Christ. What a beautiful name it is! What a beautiful name it is! The name of Jesus Christ, my King. What a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to this. What a beautiful name it is. The name of Jesus. You didn't want
this many people and say that anger owned me for a really long time. But I just want to encourage anybody, if you can name what it is that tries to own you, name it, because you disarm it when you name it. So find somebody you trust, talk it out, name it, and be done with it. Or start the process of being done with it.
The process.
I can see the waters raging at my feet. I can feel the breath of those surrounding me. I can hear the sound of nations rising up. We will not be overtaken. We will not be over. I can walk down this dark and painful road. I can face every fear of the unknown. I can hear all God's children singing out. We will not be Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. Our God is greater, our God is stronger. God, you are higher than any other. Our God is healer, awesome in power. Our God, our God. And if our God is for us, then who could ever stop us? And if our God is with us, then what can stand against? What can stand against? Our God, our God, our God.
He gives good gifts, only good gifts. Sorry, unfortunately, Ray has a job, so he can't be here all the time. Unfortunately.
Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Our God, He reigns forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. You do not change, you don't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. Wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Our God, He reigns forever. Our hope, our strong deliverer. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. You do not change, you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles. You are the everlasting God, the everlasting God. You do not change, you won't grow weary. You're the defender of the weak. You comfort those in need. You lift us up on wings like eagles. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. Strength will rise as we wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the Lord. We will wait upon the
Straight up 8 o'clock. Straight up. So I want to say one more thing. The armor of God. Just think about it every single day. Think about it every single day. And I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff to say this afternoon, and Mark walked in the door and I went, oh, it's time to go, and I'm not ready to go. And everything that I'd written down is still on the computer. But part of that is I was thinking, the armor is such a huge part of who we are or whether or not we succeed. And so in my mind, I start at the helmet of salvation and I just talk my way through it. And that's not the order that it's in the word, but doesn't matter. Of the pieces of the armor, 4 of them are about the word. So if you're not in the word, you've lost the battle and you're going to continue to lose the battle. It's a fact. So anyway, have a great night. Thanks for being here.